Guys, I just made £114,000 in the last 7 days with this exact strategy, guys. No bullshit, just systems. And in this video, I will show you exactly how I found the product, how I launched the ads, how I built my store, and exactly how I scaled it from 0 to 6 figures a week and 7 figures a month, guys. Because this is not my only store, right? I'm running multiple stores and right now doing 7 figures a month. So guys, if you're still stuck just testing random products, just losing money with every test, and just also losing a lot of time, right? Please make sure to watch this. Let's get into it. So first, guys, how did I found the actual product, right? I always do my research with the Facebook ad library, guys. There is really no better software, no better thing to really do your research, right? Facebook ads library is just really key in this. It's just the most important thing. So how do I do it exactly? I always use keywords, guys. Keywords, really important. These are just some example keywords. Please make sure to also copy them so you can use it for yourself. What do I exactly do with the keywords? I always make sure that I put, for example, -amsterdam.nl, for example, also in here to find stores that are using that kind of URL, right? Or I'm also using, for example, the closure keywords because I know a lot of motherfuckers out there are using it, right? So really make sure to really find keywords where you think like, okay, my competitors are using these and these words. This is also a way so I can find them, right? So what kind of words are the competitors using in their current ad copies? With what kind of ad copies are they scaling right now? And this way you can also find new competitors and also even better competitors, right? So also please make sure to use these keywords. And when you've used these keywords, you've already found some competitors. What do you exactly do, right? So I always use the tool Denote. Denote, really important tool. With this tool, you can exactly see like, okay, how much spent does this exact creative get? And this is really important to see like, okay, how much spent did this product get? And is it hitting my KPI? And this way you can really see like, okay, this product is performing. I want to test it. For example, when you're running in Denmark, you really want to pick products, for example, from the Netherlands, from Germany, from France, from other countries with also the same kind of weather. And guys, that's just really, really important. So let's take a look, for example, at this competitor. I just found a random competitor and let's see how this guy is doing right now. So for example, this guy has some few decent products. I also see a lot of products that are not performing really good. But for example, let's take a look, for example, at this product. You see a 300 spent 12 days and also 40 and 180. So combined, this is around 500 spent in 12 days. Is this hitting my KPI? No. Also, guys, please make sure that your KPI is set on at least $100 a day every product you test. You want to test products with momentum. You want to test products that are scaling. So how do you see if they're scaling? So for example, you already know yourself, okay, I'm testing with $50 a day for 2 days, then I'm going to scale. So you also up the budget a bit. And then I know when I, for example, look at products 10 days live and it has at least 100 a day in spend, then I already know like, okay, this guy is pushing budgets. This guy is scaling. So I also want to test it. So for this example, this is really not the case. Also, when you check the spend and if it's also fit your criteria, please make sure to also count the spend of all the creatives combined that are in the same campaign. For example, these 3 creatives are from the exact same product and it's also launched at the same day. So that means that it's launched in the same campaign, right? So please also make sure to do that. And also when I found the product, I always make sure to write it down in my product research sheet, to also write down the data for myself, to really also learn, okay, these products hits and also why did it hit? So always make sure to also write down your notes like, okay, why did I choose this product and why did I test it, right? So that's mostly about the product research and how did I find these products to test for my store. And guys, what did I also do? Please make sure to really find products with momentum. So for example, you already know like, oh, okay, in the summer, of course, dresses are going to hit, but when are you going to test the dresses, right? So for example, are you going to test it in a declining momentum or in an upcoming momentum? Please make sure, for example, when you're going to test dresses, that you're already begin testing them here. So for example, the end of May, right? Because in the peak, there is way more competition, for example, than here. So please make sure to always plan ahead and really see like, okay, what products do have momentum? What products do I want to test and in which specific market? So that's really good to keep in mind. And if you combine that with proper research and also hitting specific KPIs, guys, you're going to make money. And that's just basically it for the product research. So guys, secondly, how did I make the store? So to be honest, it's quite easy. Always when I enter a market, I always do market research and competitor research. So what is that exactly, right? So for example, the competitor research I also explained in my previous video. I always first want to find good competitors in the exact same market that I'm going to test in and see like, okay, how is their store looking? And I do that because then I also know like, okay, I have to take inspiration of these specific competitors to also improve my store, to make sure that my store is converting. And when your store is already converting, then you only have your research and only have your media buying skills to really make it a good success. So please make sure to always take inspiration from competitors in the same market to make sure that your store is always converting. Besides that, I always make sure to also add bundles, post-purchase upsells that increase my AOV. And for me, it increased a lot, honestly. And I always also make sure to use my email marketing flows to really squeeze as much money as I can out of the customer. And of course, when everything is in place, you're going to make more money because your AOV is higher, your LTV is higher, and you're going to make more money. And that's basically it about store, guys. And guys, how did I exactly set up my ads? So to be honest, for me, it's quite simple. I always run a CBO, brought 2 or 3 creatives for the test with a €50 budget. And what do I always use to test? You guys already maybe know that. I always use my daily ROAS sheet to always see like, okay, how is my product performing? Can I already scale with? What is my exact margin? What's my exact break-even ROAS and my exact ROAS of that product for each day? This is really, really, really important, guys. When you want to scale a product properly, always make sure to already have all the data before you even scale it or before you even test it. So always make sure to do that. So what do I exactly do to scale it right? So let's get into that. I always make sure when I'm going to scale, if it is with a 50% or I double the budgets, I always make sure to hit at least 25% gross margin, especially when you're running in UK, since you have higher transaction fees, higher refund rates than, for example, in the Netherlands, right? So when I hit a 25% gross margin, I up my budget with 50%. And when it's good at 12 p.m., I let it run the next day. When it's bad at 12 p.m. the next day, for example, it has a 0.8 ROAS, I scale the budget down again by 70%. And why do I do that? Because you really want to test budgets. You really want to see like, okay, can Meta handle this budget, yes or no? For example, when I scale the budget at 12 p.m., it's already at least break even. I still give the chance and I let it run also. And most of the time, the second day it picks up. But the first day after scaling, when it's really, really horrible, for example, 0.8 or 0.6 ROAS, I scale the budget down with 70%. So I basically say to Meta, okay, bro, like slow the fuck down. And the next day, I put the budget back up again to the exact same scaled budget. And then I give it another try. If it's still shit, I scale it down again. But I make sure to put it at original budget the next day. And then, for example, when you already know like, okay, for my ad account, scaling this hard just doesn't work. Then I try with smaller steps. So for example, 20%, 20%, 20%, and 20%. And it's then way more stable. Okay, good. Then for your next products and for your next launches, make sure to only scale like that, right? And when I have a product with 35% gross margin, I always make sure to at least double the budgets. And I use the exact same method with the 70% downscale to really keep my margin up with also my other products and make sure to not make a big loss. And also, this is how I prevent losing money when I'm scaling campaigns, right? So that's basically how I scale my campaigns. Also good to know, when I have a product that's already running on a 200 budget for at least 7 days profitably, I always make sure to add new creatives in a new ad set in the same campaign. I always do that every 3 days, so I exactly know like, okay, my creative is not going to fatigue. I have enough creatives to also achieve a higher spend, right? So that's really important when scaling. Having enough creatives is just just really important in this game, guys. Having more content is just key to achieving a higher budget, to achieving a higher revenue in this game. And exactly which decisions I make, how I scale, I also make sure to mention it in my daily ROAS sheet, guys. So I exactly know, okay, what happened, and then I can make good decisions based on that data. Guys, data is really key. Make sure to always track down everything, and you basically have to become a little geek with this, right? So yeah, and that's basically about scaling, about testing. And guys, also because of this sheet, I had way more controllable growth, and I always stayed way more consistent because of this. So yeah, guys, the numbers that I already do, guys, it wasn't luck. I had to become a little geek, as you can say, and really made sure, like, okay, guys, I'm testing properly. So is my product hitting my KPIs? Is also my store based on a proven store, and is it also really built to convert, right? And also every product I launch are tested and scaled in a good way, with also adding more creatives to really track down every decision I make for the campaigns. And guys, that's how you really achieve a sustainable business. This is how you really achieve higher budgets and a 6-figure week and a 7-figure month, guys. So when you guys have any questions, please drop them down below, or also feel free to reach out to me on X, and then I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.